Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the 2021 Prefect and Seniors Induction, and also the Class of 2020 High Achievers Ceremony. The official party will now enter. Please stand. Thank you. Please remain standing for the acknowledgement of country to be delivered by Year 11 student Drew Saunders. This will be immediately followed by the singing of the National Anthem led by Toby Smith. Thank you, Drew.
I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today.
Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome, special and invited guests, Mr. David Edwards, IGS Board Chair, Ms. Sharon Carvoth, IGS Board Member, Ms. Karen Renton-Vetalago, IGS Board Member, Mayor Teresa Harding, Ipswich City Mayor, Mrs. Marnie Doyle, Ipswich City Deputy Mayor and Councillor, Mr. Andrew Fechner, Ipswich City Councillor, Ms. Madonna Oliver, attending on behalf of Mr. Shane Newman, Federal Member for Blair, Dr. Peter Britton, Ipswich Girls Grammar Principal, Mr. James Sturgis, Ipswich Girls Grammar Board Chair, Mr. Philip Bell, Ipswich Chamber of Commerce President, Mr. Paul Casos, IGS Fundraising Committee Chair, Mr. Ian Rosenberger, IGS Parents and Friends Association President, Mr. Andrew Kenman, President of the IGS Old Boys Association, Mr. Harry Bouckley, our guest speaker and Old Boy of 2017. Welcome Prefects and Seniors Parents, our 2020 High Achievers and parents, staff, students, and in particular, our seniors of 2021. Today, the boys of Year 12 are entrusted with the role of guiding the younger members of the school community through another year at this great school. We know that they will lead with passion and conviction in their final year. It is also a chance to present back to the school our high achievers from 2020. They have done both themselves and their school proud in achieving wonderful ATAR results. To begin proceedings this morning, I would like to invite our headmaster, Mr. Morrison, to give his address. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Christie. Good morning, special guests, parents, ATAR achievers, Class 158, boys. Firstly, as we've had a fairly quiet time on public events through the restrictions of COVID, I think it might be timely for me to acknowledge and congratulate our two local Division 3 councillors who have been elected since we've actually met publicly. So I might just publicly congratulate Andrew and Marnie on your election into Division 3. Very well done. It's very special for me actually to see Harry Bouckley sitting up here on stage, the school captain of 2017, sporting a very similar haircut to the one that he actually has in the school video, I noticed. So the more things change, Harry, the more they stay the same. But never a school captain at IGS has put more blood, sweat and tears of commitment into making a contribution and making a difference as school captain. So it's really delightful for me and all of us to see you here, Harry. So special welcome to you as well. But of course, today's not really about Harry and not really about our special guests or even, I dare say, about our parents. It's actually about Class 158. I mean the following with the greatest respect. There's an old saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but maybe you can have an old dog that teaches all of us a lot of tricks. The gentleman's photograph on the screen is, of course, Captain Sir Tom Moore. Many of you will be aware of Tom's achievements and the recognition that he received worldwide. So just a little refresher course on Sir Tom. He passed away in February at the age of 100. But at the age of 99, he decided to do something to make a difference for the situation in the UK around coronavirus. And he decided, notwithstanding the fact that he could hardly walk and needed a walking frame to actually move across the ground, that he would walk around his yard 100 times. People were amazed that he'd actually try and do that. People probably thought he couldn't achieve that, but he actually did achieve that. In doing so, he raised 57 million Australian dollars for National Health Service charities in the UK. He was knighted, especially by the Queen. And believe it or not, but as a 99 come 100-year-old, he was voted as the BBC Sports Personality of the Year for 2020. Yes, I know. I don't know that we'll see another centurion voted into that position. He was a man, though, more than those achievements, because what Sir Tom did was actually pull the UK together at a time when there was widespread despondency about their terrible situation resulting from COVID, of course. Terribly, terribly grim times in the UK, as there were, of course, right across the world in a range of different countries. But he seemed to lift the morale of that place almost single-handedly. Even his catchphrase says it all, which is, "Tomorrow will be a good day." Apparently he had that saying right throughout his life, and never has it been more appropriate than those dark days of 2020. So he was a man who demonstrated great sincerity, great selflessness, dedication, loyalty, respect for others, determination to get the job done. He wasn't moving fast across that ground on his walking frame, boys, but he got there, 100 laps and $57 million Australian later. Fantastic achievement. So this morning, Class 158, I mentioned Sir Tom because just as he had a challenge, I believe you actually have a challenge. And it's a shared challenge, not yours alone, but one that you are very important part of, and that is the challenge to glue Ipswich Grammar School back together very strongly this year after a very fragmented and frustrating 2020, to tie those bonds between our boys, prep all the way to Year 12, strongly and positively, to support our teachers, to support each other, and make sure that 2021 is the great year that we had to have after the disappointing year that 2020 was. The qualities that will allow you to do that, Class 158, are the very same qualities that Sir Tom so courageously demonstrated during 2020 and 2021. They are the qualities of respect. They are the qualities of patience, of goodwill, and more than ever, of service. Making a difference this year, Class 158, will not involve bossing boys around, thinking that we're in control, or any of those command and control behaviours. It will involve just sheer decency, leadership through service. Those of you that have seen the Great Hall being restored will know that we are doing that layer by layer. And Class 158, the culture of this school is actually built on 158 years, layer after layer, generation after generation of boys and young men making a commitment and being determined to make a contribution to our school and to make a difference. You boys are the latest chapter in that story that dates back to 1863. So this morning, from myself and from all of us assembled in the auditorium, we wish Class 158 all the very best with their challenges for 2021, both personal, academic, and as a cohort, I hope committed and dedicated to make our school even stronger. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. It's my pleasure now to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Harry Barkley. Harry began his schooling at IGS in 2013 in grade 8 and he graduated in 2017. During school, he played for the First 11 football team, he played cricket and basketball, competed in debating and had a lead role in the 2016 musical The Addams Family. In 2015, Harry was a part of the football team that won the Bill Turner Cup, which is the state championship for football. They were runners-up in the national final. Harry is now in his 4th year of a Bachelor of Clinical Exercise Physiology at the University of Queensland. He has completed numerous placements at various locations with the primary focus of treating and managing a wide range of chronic illnesses. This year, he will begin work on his thesis, and in September, Harry will be looking to further his studies in the medical field by sitting the GAMSAT test. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Harry Barkley.
Good morning, Headmaster, members of the board, staff, guests, students, and the 158th class of Ipswich Grammar School. Firstly, I must extend my sincerest of thank yous for allowing me to come back today. It's a pleasure to see that while so much has changed physically around the school, that the heritage and history is still ever present. I'd like to start by admitting that I've been very lucky and that I've had the pleasure of meeting, learning, and observing from some truly fantastic people, and I pride myself on the knowledge that they've passed on to me. From fellow friends, students, colleagues, old boys, and patients that I've worked with, I hope to use today to pass on what I've found valuable to our students and new leaders of the school in the white shirts. So in that, I'd like to use today to pass on 3 ideas. The first idea is about challenge. Throughout your senior year, you will come across numerous challenges, some exciting and some daunting. I myself and my cohort experienced several of these, whether it's sporting or academic, and no matter how organised or prepared you are, challenges will always present themselves. But it is not the difficulty they impose that will define your senior year. Your senior year will be defined by how you react to these challenges. To the soon-to-be inducted leaders, you have one of the greatest challenges of leading 158 to reach its full potential whilst in a pandemic. But I urge you to remember that leaders are not great because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. Within this cohort is a host of several different personalities with a whole set of strengths and ideas. As a cohort, you all share a collective challenge to reach what each of you perceive as success, and overcoming this challenge will give your senior year meaning and value. So I urge you not to back away from the difficulties that leadership presents to you throughout this year. I believe I speak on behalf of my own cohort when I say that the challenges in our senior year were beneficial in almost every sense, and we've taken the lessons we've learnt on our own paths following school. For my second idea, I'd like to discuss teamwork and involvement. Throughout my university degree, I've become fascinated with the human body and have even been lucky enough to teach human anatomy and physiology to undergraduate students at UQ. I'm sure we've all heard the human body being compared to that of a machine. It's a number of intricate systems that, when working in unison, are able to perform at an extremely high level. And I believe this is as true for the human body as it is for the senior year of 158. In order to achieve your goals and reach your own expectations, I believe everyone needs to be involved, not just present physically, but contributing with ideas and hard work. This school prides itself on the mantra of the Spartan, and it's up to the individuals who make up 158 to come together and lead the school forward. My final idea is about opportunity. Today's induction signifies the start of a brilliant opportunity to carry out the tradition of leadership that is accompanied with the white shirt. One of America's leading psychologists released a very fascinating statement not too long ago. His advice to young men was to be a monster and then learn how to control it. He was, of course, being metaphorical, but his statement holds great meaning. He means to be a monster in the sense that you should be fierce and take every opportunity. Be competitive, hold high standards in your performance, seek excellence, and then control this competitiveness with the values of respect, dignity, and compassion which you've been taught throughout your schooling. The idea of saying yes to opportunity was a mantra I preached consistently to my seniors in the final year, and one which I will preach to you again. You will come across many opportunities this year, some more difficult than others. I urge you to say yes, be brave, and step outside your comfort zone. Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity, so ensure you're 100% committed. Before you know it, at the end of this year, the heaviness of being successful at school will be replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, and you'll wish to do it all over. So my final message to the class of 158, those who wear the white shirts foster the ideas and solutions for tomorrow. This school, its staff, its students, and its old boys places its trust in you as leaders. So stay hungry, stay ambitious, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Very, very wise words. Ladies and gentlemen, we now join with the headmaster in welcoming our previously inducted prefects to the stage, and I'll call them one by one. Sebastian Karvoth. Hamish Cassidy. Noah Emerson. Isaac Howe. Hamish Long. Denzel Perkins. Our school captain, Xavier Woodgate, will now come to the lectern to lead our three new prefects in their oath. Could our three new prefects please stand and face the assembly? Thank you, Xavier.
I, Xavier Woodgate, in the presence of the school authorities here assembled, and in the presence of my fellow students, solemnly declare before accepting the prefectship conferred on me that I fully recognize that a prefect must give unswerving loyalty to the school, that he must preserve and foster its ideals by precept and by example, that he must keep and enforce its rules and regulations, and that in work and in sport, he must set an example worthy of emulation by all his fellows. I publicly acknowledge and gratefully accept the honour conferred on me, and solemnly pledge that I shall do all in my power to fulfill my duties in a worthy manner. I would now ask Mr. Morrison and Mr. Stepjevic to assist in the induction of the prefects by presenting them with their ties and badges as they sign the prefect book. Solomon Dixon. Jamie Coe. Oscar Schultz. I would now like to introduce the leadership team for 2020. Boarding Vice Captain, Harvey Lee. Boarding Captain, Bo Brebner. School Vice Captain, Cameron Cook. School Vice Captain, Ashada Edrasingha.
And we also acknowledge Xavier and officially introduce him to Mr. Morrison as the school captain of 2021. Please acknowledge our leadership team. I now ask School Vice Captain Cameron Cook to read the seniors' avow. Seniors, please stand.
I, Cameron Cook, as a member of the 158th Senior Class of Ipswich Grammar School, will strive to uphold the school's ideals and values, as expected of me as an IGS student. I will continue the pursuit of excellence and will endeavour to embrace and promote the sacred spirit that is the heart and soul of Ipswich Grammar School. Within the school and community, I will work with honour to create a safe and friendly environment for myself and my peers. I will respect the individuality of each student and encourage involvement and participation in all aspects of the school. As a senior, I will work to the best of my ability to set an example for all my peers. I will work to the best of my, above all, I will honour and obey the school rules by being fair, reasonable, and responsible. And will aim to leave the school with no regrets. Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron, and thank you, boys. Please be seated. I now ask 12A to please move into position to be presented. Each form class will be presented to our headmaster, Mr. Morrison, and the head of Year 12, Mr. Stepjevic, and to the Assembly. Our student leaders will introduce the boys in form class order, and Xavier Woodgate will start with 12A.
Amin Ahmed, Thomas Appley, Zain Arbuthnot, Harrison Arch, Jackson Arnold, Andrew Barraclough, Brandon Beckett, Jed Bignell, Robert Blackman, Jared Lau, Connor Bonney, Rakane Bowen, Matthew Bradway, Thomas Braga, Harrison Brampton, Bo Brebner, Ewan Brown, Jeremy Brown, Joshua Carrick, Sebastian Carvolth, Hamish Cassidy, Jack Charman, Myungjun Choi, Kyle Colburn, Cameron Cook, and Travis Cornthwaite. I now ask the Assembly to congratulate 12A. Please be seated, boys.
Riley Cox, Jackson Crocker Garlep, Mitchell Cross, Lachlan Cumming, Callum Kerr, Aaron Curtis, John Cusack, Benjamin Davis, Ricochet Dayton, Matthew Dees, Deng Deng Bowl, Riley Denny, Luke Dixon, Solomon Dixon, Malik Duthat Joburg, Matthew Dresselhaus, Vu Duong, Sebastian Dutton, Angus Eberhart, James Eddington, Oshada Ederasinga, Noah Emerson, Nicholas Owen, Maxim Fedorov, Timothy Fitzgerald, and Nathaniel Fox. Please congratulate 12B. Thank you, boys. Please be seated.
Gabriel Fruin, Lachlan Gale, Kai Getty, Jeffrey George, Kyan Harrison, Zadok Heron, Adrian Huang, Lachlan Hood, Isaac Ho, Ruben Hose, Cooper Jenner, Timothy Jones, Patrick Kings, Nathan Knight, Jamie Coe, Daniel Kovakovic, Dane Kubler, Harvey Lee, Isaac Lindsay, Tom Lear, Hamish Long, Demetrius Lear, Campbell McCauley, Caddick McKinney, Jacob Malik, Viliami Manu. Please congratulate Class 12C.
Connor McBride, Joel McDonough, Bailey McGraw, Matthew McEwen, William Moffat, Lucian Moodley, Campbell Moore, Martino Newen, Braden O'Sullivan, Blake Palmer, Jack Parlane, Kai Pask, Denzel Perkins, Joseph Perry, Macaulay Ratmond, Jaron Reed, Jackson Reynolds, Zachary Ross, James Ross Lavender, Joshua Sadie Dixon, Oscar Schultz, Dupender Singh, Vansh Singh, Reinhard Smith, Joshua Smith. Patrick Smith. Could we please congratulate Class 12D? Please be seated.
Toby Smith. Damon Stevens. Jake Steptovic. Xavier Stowers. Herman Swin. Will Sullivan. Logan Tussey. James Titmarsh. Lachlan Tokia. Austin Trefanian. Ethan Tronk. Karen Tao. Julius Tuliau. Thajana Utuwanatej. Oliver Vivas. Morsley Wagaya. Lewis Wakeham. Jackson Walker. Carrie Wang. Oliver Watson. Joseph White. Declan Wiles. Jack Williams. Xavier Woodgate. Carl Yim. Can we please congratulate Class 12E? Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you and congratulations to Year 12. You'll be fine leaders of the school, I'm sure. We move on to the next part of today's ceremony where we acknowledge the 2020 High Academic Achievers. It's wonderful to have our youngest old boys back. Please welcome our Dean of Academics, Mrs. Cudahy, to present our High Academic Achievers.
Good morning, Headmaster, Mr. Morrison, Board Chair, Mr. Edwards, distinguished guests, staff, boys, our newest old boys. Today, I have the pleasure of acknowledging the exceptional academic achievers from 2020. Proudly, Class 157 have maintained the school's long-standing tradition of academic excellence, achieving strong grades with the release of ATAR results in December of last year. 24 students in the 2020 cohort achieved an ATAR of 90 or above. This was 35% of the ATAR eligible cohort. This high percentage is a powerful representation of the hard work, efforts and achievements of these boys. Today, we especially acknowledge the top 7 students of the cohort who achieved an ATAR of 98 and above. I would like to call to the stage the following students to be awarded a Medal of Academic Achievement from the Headmaster. Alan Chavanga. Daniel Young. Ryan Styler. Jared Wales. And Archie Horniman-Wren. Unfortunately, Archie couldn't be here today to receive his medal. In his absence, I would like to honour Archie's exceptional performance, particularly in the subject of English, where his exit result was 99 out of 100. Congratulations to these 5 men. We will now move to the awarding of the runner-up ducks and the ducks of Ipswich Grammar School from 2020, which will be presented by Mr Morrison, Headmaster, and Mr Edwards, Board Chair. At the 2020 Year 12 Final Assembly, Matthew Van Eden was awarded an Academic Excellence Award for achieving 80% and above for 5 out of his 6 subjects. Additionally, Matthew achieved the second highest ATAR of the 2020 cohort. Now, today, Matthew Van Eden is the recipient for the Tom Mason Memorial Prize for the runner-up ducks of Ipswich Grammar School. Please come to the stage, Matthew. The Bowen Prize is awarded to the Ducks of Ipswich Grammar School. It is the most prestigious award in the school and named in honour of Sir George Bowen, the first Governor of Queensland, who officially opened the school in September of 1863. The Bowen Prize is the longest standing award at IGS and was first awarded in 1871. Today, we honour the 2020 Ducks of Ipswich Grammar School, who last year received an Academic Excellence Award for achieving 80% and above for 5 out of his 6 subjects, as well as the SAC Prize for Chemistry, the Donald Cameron Memorial Prize for Mathematical Methods, where he received an exit result of 99 out of 100, the Donald Memorial Prize for Specialist Mathematics, the Year 12 QUT Dean's Award for Engineering Prize, and the highest ATAR at Ipswich Grammar School at a 99.9, placing him in the top 60 students in the state of Queensland. The Bowen Prize for the Ducks of Ipswich Grammar School for 2020 is Max Bray. I think another round of applause is Thank you, gentlemen. As a school, we honour the Year 12 graduates from 2020, not only because of their exceptional results, but also because of the way they approached their final year of the school. The boys navigated a new style of assessment in Queensland during a pandemic and did so with maturity and resilience. With the first year of ATAR in Queensland, the white shirts of last year set a new standard of academic excellence for our school. I encourage all of our boys sitting before us to look to these men as examples of hard work, commitment, and what a dedication to their studies can achieve.
Thank you, Mrs Cudahy, and congratulations, boys. Well done. I'd like to invite School Captain Xavier Woodgate to the lectern to give his address and the vote of thanks and a small gift to Harry.
Good morning, staff, special guests, parents, friends, and boys. As I could repetitively outline in my speech, with all sorts of adjective and adverb combinations, saying today is a very important day, I won't. Instead, I'll offer to tell you why it is so important. For more than a decade, we've slowly moved towards the end of what was once new. This day, in my naive eyes, formally presents us a both physical and metaphorical badge. One us, the class of 158, wears with optimism. One we wear with the strength we see around us. One we wear with the thoughts of security and safety in our long-forged brotherhood. But most importantly, one we wear not only for ourselves. One we wear for our guardians. One we wear for our family, and one we wear for our friends. So you could put a price on a scholarship. You could put a price on an education, a price on an institution. But you can never put a price on the sacrifices, the love, the support, the positivity, and the guidance that has led each of us to this path. As cliche as it is, it really doesn't seem like that long ago that we were sitting where the grade 7s, 8s, and 9s are now, where we'd watch these inductions and believe ourselves to be different. Maybe it was just me, but it never really felt like this day would come. The white shirt and senior tie always seemed like more of an idea than an actuality. But as eloquently declared in our senior avow, that is exactly what we are. Today, more than any other, we stand as the white shirt wearing seniors. And soon, we'll dress in suits for formal. We'll be handling our last piece of internal assessment, studying for externals. We'll take victory again at track and field. We'll sit our final exams. We'll put our tie on for the last time, and we'll ring the bell. And we stand here now, strong for our new time, undefeated in first cricket, training hard in first volleyball and debating, with open swimmers ready to give their all. All of us wearing the colour we once looked up to. But for just a moment, I want to turn the focus to those who come to see us. And deeply thank each of you for being here today. In the audience, we feel not only the love of those physically here, but the hearts and souls of all whom we've known. And sadly, for those whose presence we can no longer admire, today we wear a smile in solace. In focus, I'll say it now, my friends. As we soon sing the old school song, we stand in seats we couldn't imagine being in. And we stand with those who have molded us, and we wear what we deserve. A tie we have all earned, and a tie that formally marks the beginning of our final time here, a journey that 129 of us share. Today is about all of this. Together we are, and always will be, a brotherhood. Class 158. Thank you.
Thank you, Xavier. Very well written and very well read. I'd like to ask Harry to now come forward to accept a small gift of our appreciation for his time and his words today from our headmaster, Mr. Morrison. Thank you again, Harry. Well, thank you everyone for your attendance today. Those of you who have taken special time to come away from work, or boarding families that have come from a distance away to join with us and to celebrate Class 158. It's truly a great occasion to induct our prefects and our seniors and to acknowledge our high academic achievers from 2020. The musicians are almost in place, and I ask Toby Smith to the microphone to lead the school in the school song. This will be immediately followed by the recessional. School, please stand. Thank you, students. Please be seated. Parents and guests, if you'd like to exit through the rear doors, you can do that now.